I've been vocal in the anime community for an awfully long time, witnessing its changing landscapes and inner workings firsthand, like I'm sure many of you have, and I think it's fair to say the pace of change is beyond anything ourselves from 4 or 5 years ago could have imagined. The most fascinating thing is that it's less an anime community now. It's better described as a rapidly expanding and engrossing lifestyle of appreciation for Japanese pop culture. Honestly, this is probably why I've stuck around this long. One of the impacts of this is certain subcategories of Japanese media gaining an increasing amount of limelight. And one area that I'm particularly passionate about is music. I've flown thousands and thousands of miles purely to attend Anison events and spent extortionate amounts of money on headphones to provide the best experience for when I can't do that. This kind of inspired the video you're watching. There are so many interesting examples of Japanese music being presented visually through anime. So while the default thing that pops into the heads of English-speaking anime fans is something like this, a song playing over a stream of anime clips, if one expands their horizon of what an AMV actually is, there's a treasure trove of Japanese anime music videos that tell stories in a more individually distinctive way than a lot of 13-episode series. But, unlike 13-episode anime series, their orchestration is driven equally from their musical talent, rather than simply its production staff. This is what I find so absorbing about animated music videos, their marriage between music and visuals. All of this with the specific goal of crafting a short, yet catchy narrative. Whether you're looking for lo-fi to chill to in the background, or you want to be absorbed into the deep yet flashy pit that is Vocaloid, there's probably something for you. You already know this though, I mean you watch anime openings all the time, and they're effectively furtherly condensed versions of music videos for their specific series. In fact, some music videos are just that. Take Daoko's Uchiage Hanabi playing out almost like a Western AMV. It really is just the best scenes from the atrocious Fireworks movie merged into a visual product. I can forgive it though, the song has a great bass line and powerful carrying vocals. But yeah, fuck Fireworks. This type of music video isn't really what I want to cover though, despite there being strong examples out there. I wanted to use this video as a platform to discuss the aforementioned wholly original musical narratives. But we'll start fairly basic by talking about a group you most likely have heard of, Honeyworks. Honeyworks is a fairly well-known brand as far as Japanese pop groups go. It's comprised of 3 core members, 2 of which are composers, but more interestingly, one, Yamako, is dedicated to illustrations, although many more contribute now. They date back as far as 2010, when they started by uploading Vocaloid covers on the popular Japanese streaming service Nico Nico. They've collaborated with a variety of vocalists, but it was their lasting work with Chico that saw them reach serious levels of success. This includes being featured in a variety of serialized anime projects, and even having an anime based on their MV's original characters. Summarizing Honeyworks is very easy. Everything they've ever released is in some way related to teen romance or relationships, which isn't all that unique or special in itself, but each video actually tells a mini-story following the lives of various Honeyworks characters as part of a larger universe. Lyrically, their music commonly expresses their characters' struggles in finding love, with choruses like "It's because of you that I fell in love." This, combined with upbeat music that radiates passion and excellent illustrations, has had an interesting effect you can see in Honeyworks' YouTube comments. They've actually provided an overwhelming amount of motivation for various Japanese fans to confess their love, and honestly, it's so charming and warming to read some of these comments. A far cry from an American pop music video. If you're looking for more intimate and isolated examples of love stories told through a music video, the concept album Owari no Hoshi no Love Song is a great start. This is a multi-track collaboration between the amazing minds of Jun Maeda and vocalist Nagi Yanagi, with each song telling its own narrative. Personally, my favourite track is Owari no Sekai Kara. You can watch it on YouTube with English subtitles, and it's kind of like if Steins Gate was a love story. Coming from the talent that is heavily responsible for projects like Clannad and Angel Beats, you can imagine what 6-minute ride you're in for with this one. I can't really put into words just how Jun Maeda Owari no Sekai Kara actually feels. From the intricate visual details like light orbs visualizing an omnipotent force, through to his compositions being guided by a fragile, yet when required easily distinguished piano. It's the one instrument he rarely synthesizes, and in turn carries the human emotional weight of the piece. This MV is a microcosmic example of Jun Maeda's combined understanding of human psychology and musical form, achieving his signature magic realism. Man, I love Maeda, but I better swing this video around before I start getting too soppy, or worse, flat out crying. You might have noticed that the MVs so far have had limited animation, to put it bluntly. Don't get me wrong, they've got great designs and absolutely achieve harmony between sound and sight. Arguably that's all you need, and possibly, given the circumstances, a better solution. It's completely reasonable to add overlay effects like dust particles or grain to give these productions a more finished look with a limited budget. After all, many of the animated music videos you'll find on YouTube are made by individuals or a small group without the help of a larger record label. However, I know a fair amount of you are Sakuga fans, so don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's do a few quick-fire takes on some of my favourite anime music videos. Minami is an artist you might not know. Her international attention has been increasing though. You've probably heard of her at least, with one of Minami's latest songs being used for the Domestic Girlfriend anime adaptation. But I'm under contract not to talk about that. Anyway, Minami's MVs are so well choreographed to fit her overarching themes, and her natural vocal distortion pairs great too. She communicates, dealing with, or simply presents our raw experience with the monotonous entrapment in society. While Crying for Rain is getting all the attention due to its attached baggage, I actually think her MV for Lilac has a more powerful address on our indefinite world. For example, the velocity of animation is actually really well regulated to contrast the mundane with bursts of frustration, and ultimately the conclusion she reaches. Although I'll say it's anything but conclusive. The choices of colour and positioning of lyrics really aids this too, something also demonstrated in Yoroshika's Say It, which, let me tell you, uses the VHS look better than any of us video essay makers. The RGB split really helps make the 2D character animation overlaying 3D backgrounds work wonderfully. I love how well this MV captures our passive passage through the experience of life, and highlights the importance of making cherished memories. Now let's finish on an ad, except the ad revenue isn't going to me, as if a 250 subscriber channel would be monetized. No, we're looking at Lotte x Bump of Chicken's collaboration campaign. With talent like Rie Matsumoto attached to the special commemorative animation, Baby I Love You Date is a wonderful barrage of everything I love about the animated medium. Better yet, Bump of Chicken is one of my favourite bands. Seriously, what's not to love about this? And it's a product of corporate advertising. I guess it really shows that there are no rules when it comes to music videos. Honestly, you won't know if your intended impact will resonate with anyone until you post it. There's not even really a definition of what an anime music video is, and the term is only becoming more ambiguous as time goes on, which I'm completely okay with, because the way I see it, a music video is a perfect avenue for exploring the depth of human creativeness, and they are a testament to how powerful we as people can convey emotions in a short period of time. That's the allure of music videos, and really, what more is there to say? Let the music talk. Let's be honest, anime culture can be a very time-consuming thing to be a part of, which is both a positive and a negative. This starts to become a lot more apparent as you dive deeper into the fandom, realizing it rarely stops with the animation you watch. Take something like Love Live. Belonging to that community doesn't really end with watching the anime. There's the games, multiple forms of printed works, and the abundance of other separate projects that share a common brand identity. This is a typical multimedia anime franchise. In layman terms, a project that's existence isn't bound by any single art form. When successful, it results in a consumer immersion that companies like Kadokawa or Aniplex strive to attain, and it's an interesting development in media, at the detriment to my wallet sometimes. You probably already know about the prevalence of these cross-media projects. They are at the forefront of generating revenue in the Japanese entertainment industry. I'm sure you saw the recent headline that Fate Grand Order, an Aniplex-published mobile game, recently generated $3 billion in player spending. That's a lot of money. But Aniplex has also wholly produced various modern Fate anime, and they manage all of the musicians that have ever been featured in these productions. Let's be clear, the company doesn't take all the money from Fate's media depictions, but they absolutely maximize the income with any given chance. It's the classic success story of a multimedia franchise, although it's not one that I'm personally all that familiar with. Instead, I want to pivot this video on a company that I believe has leveraged the power of the multimedia anime franchise model, achieving this as a result of continued experimentation. And no, it's not Cygames, someone has already covered that. Let's talk
Bushiroad!
I am infinitely infatuated with this company. I've probably given them more money than I could legitimately attempt to calculate. I have no doubt you've seen this logo somewhere, but in case you're unaware of what Bushiroad actually do, they're a very broad Japanese entertainment company, and emphasis on broad. Fun fact, they actually acquired New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2012, so you better be careful when you say it's just cute girls playing instruments. Although, admittedly, that's probably what you and I know them for. But seriously, Bushiroad is an extremely diverse producer, with arms in every imaginable pop culture product. They're a leading player in TCG, mobile game development, and music distribution, and it's this multi-platform existence that undeniably cements their success. The principle is simple: if there's more of something you enjoy that's readily available to consume, you're more than likely going to seek it out. But Bushiroad isn't successful on this principle alone. They are masters of creating a brand, and not just another anime series. I'll refer to probably their most famous example, Bang Dream, a project which one way or another grabs the heart of everyone it touches, including me. To an outsider, it seems simple. After all, how much content can really stem from its 5 lovable groups? So, you install the app, play for a while, and then after a few days you really understand what you've gotten yourself into. Sure, the concept is as simple as it initially seemed. However, you gradually grow aware of all the mechanisms that drive both your progress and character development within the game, and you gain a whole new appreciative perspective for it. In essence, it establishes a brand you are happy being loyal to. It doesn't skimp on presentation either, with the story being fully animated in live 2D, something that certainly adds a splash of life which still images alone just can't do. As a result of this overarching polish, you really are prepared to invest in Bang Dream, both in time and, more importantly, money. But this video isn't about making addictive mobage. Bang Dream goes well beyond its game. I've recently just started watching the first season of the anime, and I can say it's incredibly effective as a product for servicing Bandori fans. The first time you watch it, at least for me, you feel overcome by the sense of awe that your favourite mobile game characters are before your eyes in fully animated form. It's the same voice actresses, the same designs, and same personalities. It's them. Consistency is a key element to a successful multimedia franchise, and Bandori illustrates this as clear as day. I should point out that if rocking out with cute girls isn't your thing, Review Starlight, a more recent Bushiroad project, is having its app's global release this month, so you can perform with cute girls instead. Actually, this more recent example is great for illustrating the model of releasing passive media before the interactive product. I mean, the Revue Starlight anime was widely adored, and the awareness it generated will absolutely go a long way in generating new users for the app. With all this free advertising I'm giving away to Bushiroad, now is probably a good time to acknowledge that the multimedia franchise model has problems. You could even argue that it hinders original creativity in the industry, because everything becomes fixated on establishing long-term engagement instead of isolated experiences. But at the end of the day, the companies that dictate what anime get made will always prefer these projects because they can make cash cows, even if the supply of attempted multimedia projects is starting to exceed demand. I say just go with it. Accept the power of multimedia franchises, but remember you hold a great power too: your wallet.